Hey guys, College Predictor is back. Our next New Year's Six Bowl pick is going to be the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl between 10-2, 10th ranked Penn State, and 10-2, 11th ranked Ole Miss. Now, this game, even though it might not be the highest ranked teams, this is the most even game we're going to get all year, including the regular season. I mean, these teams are so much alike. They both have solid young quarterbacks, Jackson Dart and Drew Aller. They both have a good wide receiver in Dante Cephas for Penn State and Trey Harris for Ole Miss. They also have good wide receiver twos in Dalen Wade and Keandre Lambert-Smith. Now for Penn State, they're going to have some players sitting out, like their number one defensive back, Kalen King, and their number one defensive end, Chop Robinson. And their number one offensive tackle, projected top 5 pick, Olu Fashionu, is undecided yet, and it will be a game-time decision for him. I believe he will not participate in this game against Ole Miss since he does not want to injure himself, as he has a bunch of potential to carry on to the NFL. So that means their secondary players like Adisa Isaac, who's on the other side of the defensive line, he's going to need to show out because Chop Robinson's absence is going to be tough for Penn State's D-line. And other DBs for Penn State who haven't gotten many action or many touches, many interceptions, they're going to have to step up against a very good team in Ole Miss and a very good quarterback that they're going to have to read. For example, a DB that's going to need to step up for them is none other than De'Quian Hardy, 5'9", 181-pound senior out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He has 2 interceptions on the year, 7 pass deflections, but he only has 9 solo tackles. He's been a role player for them. I think he's going to have a good game in order for them to have any chance to beat Ole Miss. On the other side, Ole Miss only doesn't have many players sitting out. Jackson Dart's playing, Quinshon Judkins is playing, Trey Washington's playing. So Ole Miss is fully loaded. They're lock and loaded. They got their regular season roster. Now let's talk about Penn State's 2 losses. Their first loss was to Ohio State by a score of 20-12. Aller only threw for 191 yards. That was a big game for them. That kind of knocked them out of the race for the Big Ten championship. Since they also lost to number 3 Michigan at home, Aller only threw for 70 yards, and they lost that game 24-15, with Michigan running the ball every play of the second half. Ole Miss's losses were better. Well, they both lost to good teams. Ole Miss lost to Georgia and Alabama, both on the road. So those are good losses. Ole Miss, they're a solid team when it comes to winning big games. And the thing about Penn State that makes me interested, Penn State is known for being a good football team and nothing else, but they can never seem to win the Big Ten games between Michigan and Ohio State. However, they are 3-1 in New Year's Six Bowls, including last year's win in the Rose Bowl over Utah, 35-21. So that was a good game for Penn State. The last bowl game Ole Miss was a loss to Texas Tech last year in the Texas Bowl. They're 25-15 all-time in bowls, and Penn State is 31-19-2 all-time in bowls. The only player sitting out for Ole Miss that is known for being a starter is Cedric Johnson, the DN. So the absence of Olu Fashionu for Penn State won't be as significant. Meanwhile, their offense for Penn State, Drew Aller, this is going to be a real test for him. Can he bounce back after not being able to perform against highly ranked teams? That's going to be the key. Drew Aller needs to take what the defense gives him. He does not have to force things unless it's a 2-minute drill, they're down by 10. Drew Aller just needs to take what the defense gives me, get positive yards. The man-to-man is going to be huge in this game with the DBs that are missing. Who can make the straps on the Ole Miss receiver or the wide receivers for Penn State? One-on-one coverage is going to be huge in this game, especially for Ole Miss. Ole Miss have great wide receivers, a great quarterback that can launch the deep ball, but they're not very good at covering one-on-ones. That's what burned them against Georgia and Alabama. So that's going to be an improvement for them. That's much needed against a Penn State offense that is pretty electric at points. This is the first matchup of these two teams ever, so both teams want to get to a 1-0 start in the series. Penn State's a 4.5-point favorite, But without Chopper Robinson and Kalen King, I don't think they could win. I'm taking the Rebels 4.5 point underdogs to win by 7.